State legislators visit Framingham to discuss a variety of topics. The City Council hears updates on Parks and Rec developments, along with the plan to create a new community center, and spotlights on local runners ahead of the 129th Boston Marathon on Monday. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start with this week's City Council meeting as the delegation of elected state officials for the community took part in a conversation on a variety of local topics. State Representatives Jack Patrick Lewis, Priscilla Souza, Danielle Gregoire, and Kate Donahue were at the Memorial Building this Tuesday, April 15th, while State Senate President Karen Spilka attended virtually. The main topic during the discussion was finances, as the state and local budgets for the next fiscal year are currently in development. Lewis told city councilors that with tough decisions looming and uncertainty at the federal level, which provides roughly a quarter of the state's annual budget, the local delegation is committing to responsibility.
I don't think any of us can tell you what tomorrow is exactly going to look like, other than we are going to have to continue to be prepared, hold the line on our values, but also make sure that we are the fiscally responsible adults in the room.
Tuesday's conversation covered a wide range of subjects, from the future of new school building projects in Framingham to access to healthcare resources, from accessible housing to environmental stewardship, from immigration concerns to the plan to build a new regional justice center at the Thomas Danforth building, and more. Once again, though, Spilka mentioned that much of that work depends on the outcome of the budget process. The Senate president told Framingham leaders that the state's revenue collections are above their initial projections, but added that the fallout from decisions made at the federal level will impact the state budget process.
To be clear, if state funding is pulled, only Congress can fully protect Massachusetts. We do not have enough money to fill the federal gaps.
It's also worth noting that Lewis thanked District 3 City Councilor Adam Steiner for his service in the role, as it was reported by the Metro West Daily News earlier this week that he will not be seeking re-election in the fall. Sticking with the City Council meeting now, as local legislators heard updates on parks and recreation operations, along with major real estate projects, such as the plan to create a new community center. Parks and Rec Director Jim Snyder told officials on Tuesday that weather and communication challenges resulted in a slow start for local fields to be prepared for youth sports. Moving forward, he said that he hopes that expectations are clarified and that his team can work in tandem with the public school district to prep playing surfaces, especially for baseball and softball this spring and summer. While the City Council praised the work put in by the Parks and Rec Department, District 4 City Councilor Michael Cannon poised if some of their workload should be taken off of their plate, contending that some problems within the department have persisted over time, even with financial investments made. Speaking of money, Cannon raised concerns about the costs associated with turning the site of the former Marion High School into a community center, especially after previously earmarked federal funding for the project was rescinded recently. Cannon said he wants to see a clear vision for the plan laid out for the public.
We're now asking for more, for millions and millions more in federal dollars, while other communities are asking for that kind of funding to do fire stations, police stations, public safety facilities, and we're trying to shake the tree for a community center that doesn't have a plan.
City officials have launched a survey as they seek feedback from the public about what they'd like to see included in the new community center plan. Tuesday's conversation about real estate eventually got around to general management across Framingham, as legislators like City Council Chair Phil Ottaviani believe that city-owned properties have to be managed better in order to spur economic growth.
Maybe it's time to look at some of these buildings that we don't need, that are underutilized, and get rid of them or rent them out or do something so we can generate a little more money.
As always, more details on the key stories we cover every week here on the show can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. There, we also have full feature pieces that we've completed across the community, along with a calendar filled with upcoming local events. Subscribe to our email newsletter to stay up to date with Framingham News in Focus every week. Follow us on social media too. Our home on Instagram is @FrameNews_, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever a new Frame episode is uploaded. Those episodes are also published on Spotify. You can listen to or watch the show there. Framingham's official information line has been rebranded and expanded. Now known as Framingham 411, the hotline features details on key municipal matters, such as public works schedules, details on how to access public records and resources for voting, as well as connections to the city's municipal departments. Residents can also take advantage of a new email address, 411@framinghamma.gov, to utilize that service, as messages will be sent to the Framingham Public Library and other parties. Plus, the city will be testing an interpretation phone service through Framingham 411, where non-English speaking residents can receive live translations. The 411 line is available during the public library's operating hours, as well as through the Public Information Officer's office during the Memorial Building's operating hours. Please note, though, 411 is not the actual number that you dial to access this municipal service. You can do so by dialing 508-532-5411. And finally, a preview of this week's Frame by Frame segment. This upcoming Monday marks Marathon Monday here in Massachusetts, as the 129th running of the Boston Marathon will be making its way through Framingham. Many local residents will be hitting the pavement and taking part in the event, and they'll be doing so for some great causes. We spoke with a handful of local runners to learn what motivates them to take part in this local tradition, and we found a common thread between them.
Running 26.2 miles, why would anybody do that?
There's nothing like it. There's no other marathon like Boston Marathon.
Experiencing part of the benefits of mental health through running while fundraising at the same time for mental health, it was a nice symbiotic relationship there.
As always, that full Frame by Frame segment can be found on our website, theframe.news, as well as Access Framingham's YouTube channel. Now, of course, with the marathon set to pass through Waverly Street once again, residents are being advised that Route 135 in Framingham will be closed on Monday from around 7:30 in the morning until 2 p.m. Patriots' Day is also a state holiday, as municipal offices will be closed. Also, Jack's Abbey and Downtown Framingham Inc. will be hosting their annual Marathon Fest at the Beer Hall's parking lot along Clinton Street. Residents are invited to Jack's Abbey, which is just a few minutes away from the marathon route, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to enjoy live music, activities, and more. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For everyone here at The Frame, thanks for watching or for listening, and enjoy your Marathon Monday. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.